Hong Kong's election for chief executive looked just like any other political campaign. There were three contenders vying for the top job. The former head of the civil service, Carrie Lam, who had the backing of Beijing, former financial secretary John Tsang, nicknamed Mr. Pringles, and retired judge Wu Kuo-king. A poll before voting day showed that more than twice as many people would have wanted to vote for Tsang over Lam. But public opinion doesn't count, because this is how Hong Kong chooses its leader. The territory is home to about 7 million people. Just 6% of the electorate, that's about 230,000 people, are eligible to vote for members of the election committee. There are 1,194 people on that committee, most of whom are loyal to Beijing, and they vote for the chief executive. The candidate with 601 or more votes is declared the winner. Carrie Lam secured 777 votes. Carrie Lam will take over from the deeply unpopular Leung Chun-ying. He's viewed by many locals as being too loyal to China and the one country, two systems policy, which is meant to give Hong Kong semi-autonomy from Beijing. But under Leung's leadership, the calls for more political freedom have grown. Marked by the 2014 student-led umbrella movement, capturing global attention and causing concern in China. The protesters didn't win any concessions for universal suffrage, where every person has a vote. But the movement generated a groundswell of support for the cause, which Hong Kong's people have been grappling with ever since.
Our home is suffering from quite a serious divisiveness and has accumulated a lot of frustrations. My priority will be to heal the divide and to ease the frustrations.
Carrie Lam says there is no difference between how the Hong Kong government and Chinese government view the territory's status. She'll be inaugurated as the new chief executive on July 1st, 20 years to the day since the former British colony was handed back to China. But how will she balance the interests of both Beijing and the Hong Kong people? Natalie Pohonen, The Newsmakers.
Joining me now from Hong Kong is Leung Kwok-hung, also known by his nickname Long Hair. He is a pro-democracy legislator and a long-time social activist. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me ask you first, where does this result of Carrie Lam now being the chief executive of Hong Kong leave your pro-democracy movement?
Well, I think it proves that the quote-unquote election of the chief executive in Hong Kong actually is a fake. Everyone can see it now. Almost all of the Hong Kong adults knows that and knew it for quite a long time. It's just like a ceremony, you know. The Chinese Communist regime in Beijing will handpick the candidates, and then they will crown he or she. Then, so, but this time there are some kind of difference between the pan-democrats talking about on the strategy of how to take on this selection. So there are discussion, debate, hot debate, but now it seems that John Tsang, the other candidate who fell in the election, it seems that he will decline from the political scene very soon. So it creates a vacuum since the pan-democrat, the mainstream of the pan-democrat, try to convince the Hong Kong people that John Tsang deserves the support, even though John Tsang is part of the establishment, and it creates some kind of cult. And now John Tsang are on the way to wave goodbye to those people who support him.
Okay.
That is a headache
Let me ask you, though.
for the Democrats.
Okay. Is your activism and the umbrella movement
Yes.
perhaps losing steam? We saw tens of thousands of people take to the streets in 2014. And yesterday, when this election was taking place, only 300 people came
Yes.
out to the streets. Are you in fear of your movement losing the momentum you'd like it to
I
have?
mean, it's due to the hard feeling after the failure of the umbrella movement. A lot of those cynicism emerged, and also the people are quite frustrated about what to do, what to do next, and so the Democrat, it seems that they want to shift sides to change their strategy. So that's why they want to take Zhuang Zhang as an alternative, which I think this kind of strategy is wrong, because I don't think any opposition who are fighting for democracy under semi-dictatorship should be the check and balance for the establishment. We need to have independent mobilization. We need to have independent organization. We need to have independent analysis. And in the end of the day.
As you say that, though, the pro-Beijing activists in Hong Kong don't share that vision. What do you think it is that they don't see in your fight for wanting popular democracy and universal suffrage?
Because there's a lot of collusion and corruption, because since there are only about less than 1,200 people who can become a public voter and cast a vote to choose to elect or select the chief executive. So a lot of privilege will be gained through this political deal. And also Beijing have a lot of influence, So actually the contest, the selection of CE is like a private club. Everyone join in, and then they want something in return.
Let me ask you, though, as it stands now,
Yes.
Carrie Lam will be Hong Kong's new leader. She says she wants to heal divisions. That will be her priority. Do you think she can do it?
Well, I think it depends on what is in the mind of the Beijing government, though. Well, just before this interview, 7 of those leaders of the umbrella movement have been charged of several counts of criminal charge. So I don't think Carrie Lam can do the job if Beijing doesn't want to do the job.
Okay, Long Kwok Hong. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us on the Newsmakers.